He handed me the phone, and so it was Clyde. And he said, I have your son is safe, he's okay.
A chief to the rescue. We tell you about the heroic tale of a football star stepping up to save a boy lost in the chaos.
And we have clear and calm skies tonight, but I'm tracking that some snow showers are going to be moving in tomorrow morning right as you're about to head out. I'll be timing that out for your neighborhood in your First Warn 5 forecast.
You're watching Kansas City Television live. This is KCTV 5 News at 10.
Tonight, Kansas City is staying strong after tragedy. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Brad Stevens.
And I'm Carolyn Long. The message, KC Strong, can be seen all across the city as people come together now to mourn, but also to show that yesterday's shooting does not define us. Our KCTV 5 News team is listening to your stories tonight.
And we begin with Betsy Webster, who's live at a vigil where people are coming together to pay tribute to those victims. Betsy?
Yeah, Brad, what happened yesterday caused fear, pain, and anger throughout the Kansas City metro. What happened here at this park today was an effort to bring comfort, healing, and change.
Lord, we're hurt.
Many came in their Chiefs gear. Some were close friends of Lisa Lopez Galvin, who was killed, described as a woman who treated friends as family.
And I hate that God took such a beautiful person.
We're sad, we're heartbroken, but most of all, we're angry that her life ended so tragically.
There were thoughts and prayers, but also calls to action.
We can gather like this in this short amount of time. Imagine what we can gather and wrap our arms around this issue.
As they linked arms in solidarity, it was that message that resonated loudest for many.
And I hate that we had to lose her this way. But if that's what it takes for her to be lost that way, to get something done for the community, I think she would want it that way.
Now, that call to action tonight, it was not just we have to do something or we have to do better. We've heard that so many times before. What they provided tonight was something specific. KC Common Good handed this out at the end of the vigil. 10 ways you can help reduce violence. It has a list of categories like employment opportunities, mediating conflict, trauma resources, specific organizations that you can get involved with or reach out to if you need assistance. We will have this list in this story at the bottom of the story on the KCTV 5 News website and app. Reporting live in Kansas City, Missouri, Betsy Webster, KCTV 5 News.
Kind of an action plan. Betsy, thank you. Meanwhile, many are demanding justice for those victims, and we are keeping a close eye also on the police investigation. We have learned charges are expected to come down tomorrow. As for tonight, there are 2 juvenile suspects still in police custody. The adult who was initially a suspect has since been released, but police will keep the investigation open in case they learn about any more suspects. As for the motive, police say this began as an argument that turned into a shooting. It's not a terror-related incident.
And as for the victims, police say that there are 23 total, including 1 person who died at the scene. 11 have been released from the hospital. 2 now fighting for their lives at University Health, which is caring for another 3 people. Children's Mercy is caring for 3 kids, and all of them are expected to make a full recovery. Now, as for the woman who was killed, the family of Lisa Lopez Galvan is speaking out tonight. The KKFI radio DJ is known for making people smile, and her energy. Her son, Mark, is also one of the people hurt yesterday. They tell us 5 other relatives were also hit by gunfire. Today, the family is remembering Lisa together, and they are still processing their loss.
Never met a stranger. She just had a big heart, and I think that impact that she had on people, we're seeing that the last day or so with people overwhelming our family with so much love and support and prayers.
Mayor Quentin Lucas also showing his support in a post on X, saying in part, she had a beautiful spirit, a love of helping and entertaining others, and will be missed by us all in Kansas City. A GoFundMe has been created for her family. They've raised more than half of their $50,000 goal so far. The United Way is also starting its own KC Strong Fund, looking to raise money to support victims and their families. You can find a link to this and to Lisa's fundraisers in your KCTV 5 News app. Okay, now we want to talk about your forecast because there may be some snow showers that might move in overnight.
Yeah, meteorologist Savannah Tennyson joining us now with the first warn in place now because it could impact your morning drive. Savannah?
Yeah, exactly. This cold front is going to be moving through the area overnight and even into your Friday morning commute, really throughout your Friday morning and until lunchtime. And those snow showers could be impacting as you're driving into work. Also, it is going to be much colder tomorrow. So what you've been wearing the past week probably will need to be changed up to those big coats, maybe some gloves and even some hats. So here's that front just up towards our north. That's going to continue to move into our region just in time for tomorrow morning. So as you're waking up, unfortunately, it looks like that those road conditions may be deteriorating throughout the morning time. By lunchtime, they're slowly going to be getting better. And then by the drive home, they are going to be mostly clear. Hey, for the next 3 days, temperatures are going to be on the cooler side for tomorrow, 37 degrees. That first warn in place because of those snow showers. Staying cold on Saturday, but take a look on Sunday. We are slowly going to be warming up, 54 degrees, and that's not even going to be the warmest of the next 7. I'll let you know when that is coming up in just a few minutes. Carolyn.
All right, thank you. And tonight we are hearing more stories of survival from people who watched on as that shooting happened, including families still trying to make sense of a fun event that turned tragic in an instant. Then chaos erupted just as the team's rally had wrapped up. Many initially assumed they were hearing the sound of fireworks. One man, Jacob Gooch, tells us he didn't see exactly what happened, but his daughter sure did.
My daughter said that some lady was like holding him back and people had started backing up, and then he pulled it out and just started shooting and spinning in a circle.
Now, his daughter was not hit, but he was, as was his son and his wife. It broke a bone in his foot. His son still has a bullet lodged in his foot tonight, and his wife was hit in her calf.
Wow. Jackson County legislator Manny Abarca is also giving his account, saying he ran into Coach Andy Reid after hiding while shots were being fired.
I will never forget finally coming out of the bathroom after hiding, sitting in the hallway and waiting to see what happened. And around the corner comes Andy Reid with his grandchildren and his wife. And Coach Reid looked at me, I looked at him. I think we knew what we were saying to each other. And he said, as he walked by, "Are you guys okay?" That moment of humility is incredible. And it's just a testament to his leadership and generosity.
Meanwhile, multiple Chiefs players are expressing their condolences for the victims. That group includes Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, McCole Hardman, Trey Smith, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, among others. Tonight, we are learning that some players were actually caught in the crossfire, and then they walked out heroes.
Yeah, one local teenager separated from his family in all that chaos says he was saved by one of this Chiefs players. And KCTV5's Mark Palos joins us now from Union Station. Mark, this sounds like a pretty incredible story. Who is this Chiefs star we're talking about?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire saw a child in need here yesterday and decided to step in and help. Now, 13-year-old Zach Cotton told me he came down here to celebrate the Chiefs championship with his father. However, the pair got separated when everyone started running for their lives. Zach told me he was scared and he didn't know what to do or where to go. Clyde was nearby and saw that and decided to step in and help.
Clyde is a great human being. He didn't have to help my son, but he did.
The Cotton family can breathe easier now than they did after the rally. The father and son duo were separated as bullets rang around them.
Somebody else shooter, and then everybody starts running, so I'm panicking. I don't know where to go. So I run into the players' room and to find the nearest exit. And I'm back there panicking, don't know what to do, because I was by myself.
Zach's father immediately took out his cell phone and called his son. But things were happening so fast.
He said, "I don't know where I am." And he said, "But I want you," but he handed me the phone. And it was Clyde. And I was talking to Clyde. I didn't know it was Clyde. I didn't know who it was. And he said, "I have your son. Your son is safe. He's okay."
On the football field, running backs have to know how to protect. That's exactly what Clyde did, taking Zach to a truck for safety and guarding him until his dad found them.
Zach was trying to duck behind something or hide, and he didn't know where to go. And he said Clyde went out of his way to get him and help him get out.
He's a really good person because he likes to help people.
As soon as Zach got to safety, he wanted to reach out to Clyde. So he sent him a text on Messenger and quickly got a reply.
I said, thank you for helping me. He said, all love, bro. Tell Dad thanks for staying on the phone, and thank you for trusting me. Zach, you're a warrior. Always be that way.
An incredible act of heroism there from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, we did talk to Zach, and he said he did not go to school today because he's still trying to process everything that happened yesterday. But he did tell us that he has received a bunch of messages from his friends who are all grateful that he is okay and also grateful that he is alive. For now, reporting outside Union Station, Mark Paulos, KCTV 5 News.
Mark, that is an amazing story, and I think all of Chiefs Kingdom is now a huge Clyde Edwards-Helaire fan, bigger fans than what they were. It just leaves a lump in your throat. Amazing stuff. Mark, thank you. After this tragedy, many question whether the city should maybe scale back on future parades or maybe even avoid them altogether. Here's what Mayor Quinton Lucas said about that when asked that very question.
We have a plan for a St. Patrick's Day parade in Kansas City. We have parades all the time. I don't think they'll end. Certainly we recognize the public safety challenges at issue that relate to them. This is why we have detectives right now who are doing important work to make sure that people who committed these offenses are brought to justice. We've had parades like this before. We had one last year without this type of incident. We had a Kansas City Royals victory parade where we had almost no arrests in 2015. So I don't think in any way that this is Kansas City. I do think that there is a gun violence challenge in this community and many others, and there certainly is a gun violence challenge as it relates to major events. That, however, does not mean that Kansas City will stop having major events. We will do all we can to make sure people are safe, and that's why I think you're seeing so many people at KCPD and the Kansas City Fire Department doing work to address that.
For now, if you saw anything that might help police learn more about the shooting, you are asked to call a special tips line. That number's on your screen right now. It's 816-413-3477. Crime Stoppers is also offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information that will lead to an arrest. And also, we should mention that if you lost anything in all of the chaos that happened yesterday, you can call 311 to find out how you can try to get that back. All right, now let's take a live look out across Union Station that is lit up tonight. After closing today, Union Station is set to reopen tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Businesses inside will open as well, but Chief's photo ops have been taken down, so don't expect that.
Now let's go ahead and check in again with Savannah. I know, Savannah, you're talking about snow for tomorrow, but you're also tracking a warm up too on the horizon.
Yeah, it's kind of going to be a weather whiplash over the next few days. We're going to have snow tomorrow, but check out by Wednesday. Temperatures are going to be about 20 to 25 degrees above where they should be for this time of year. Average is around 49 degrees. We're going to be in the 60s. I think some areas could even be getting into close to the 70-degree mark. That's what I'm talking about. 64 degrees on Tuesday, 67 by Wednesday. But of course, we have to get through the snow tomorrow, so I'm going to be timing that out coming up in my Firstborn 5 forecast. Brad.
All right, thanks, Savannah. Next up, we're going to hear from more of you, the people of Kansas City, who weigh in on how this shooting is impacting so many people and how we might be able to overcome.
I really don't think this is us. We can't give it up, or we will become what we fear.
This is KCTV 5 News at 10.
Barbershops, salons, coffee shops, often places where conversation just kind of flows. People talking about real issues with no filter.
Yeah, we wanted to hear some of those real conversations. So today, KCTV5's Zach Summers went to several shops across town to understand the impact that yesterday's shooting is having on Kansas Cityans.
I heard the shots on the TV.
Oh, you did? I didn't really. Inside Grand Coffee Company near Crown Center.
Confusion, there was shock.
Chaos.
Yeah, I was in disbelief.
Yeah. The conversation over lunch is dominated by the tragedy of Wednesday's mass shooting at Union Station following the Chiefs' victory rally.
I don't want to live in that fear and worry about that.
Debbie Ferry attended the celebration with her husband. She was inside a nearby office building when the shooting happened.
Just that feeling of violation, just feeling like, you know, something that was so simple and such a fun event, and then all of a sudden it just felt just surreal.
Lisa Huff watched in horror from her living room, worried for her grandchildren who were eager to meet their favorite players.
It was chaos. The news reporters weren't sure what was happening at first, so it was scary. It was very scary, and you know, I've never seen anything like that in Kansas City.
Both Lisa and Debbie, while indirectly impacted, never felt closer to a shooting.
I really don't think this is us.
At Drake's barbershop in Midtown, owner Drake Murph says he's lost a sense of security and trust in leaders.
Had all the police down there, and they still let something like that happen. That's just unacceptable to me.
Drake was at the rally with a group of friends. He wasn't hurt, but he's been close to death before. In 2022, he was shot in the back by a customer over a misunderstanding.
They really don't know how to communicate their emotions. They have lack of empathy for other people's well-being. And I think that if we could get back to a very structured family unit at home, America would be a lot better and much more safe.
That's insane.
Annie Van Meveren is a tattoo artist at La Plaza on the west side. She says gun violence isn't new to Kansas City, pointing to the city's record homicides last year.
Do we ever get over any of these? We're so used to it at this point. Kansas City's just used to it.
Tatted on her palms are the words
wrath and without mercy.
A reminder of the evil in the world.
Because we are all equally as capable of great good as we are of great evil, all of us.
While she ponders what it'll take to end the violence, Annie, Lisa, Debbie, and Drake all agree Kansas City can't lose hope.
We can't give it up, or we will become what we fear.
I hope the way people look at our city doesn't change.
Hopefully we can all move forward. And
Kansas City just has to do better.
That was Zach Summers reporting, and I think he touched on what everyone in Kansas City is doing right now. Everybody's talking about this.
Well, sure, and trying to make some sense out of it.
Yeah,
And
hard to do.
And how does normalcy come back, right? Let's check back in now with our first Horn 5 meteorologist, Savannah Tennyson.
Yes, Savannah, we know that you're talking about some snow chances that you're watching right now.
Yeah, that's right. That cold front is getting closer and closer to the area, which will be bringing in snow showers by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning and even going into work, and the kiddos going into school. So make sure that they do have the big jacket, because it is going to be cold throughout tomorrow and even into the beginning of this weekend. I think travel is going to be impacted very limitedly. However, I still think that visibility could be reduced because of the snow showers. So let me time this out for you. This is 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. So when everybody is going to be asleep, we could have some rain showers just over towards the east of Kansas City by the time we get into around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It looks like most of those rain showers are actually going to be moving into some snow showers as temperatures continue to drop, especially towards the north of I-70. Those will continue to move off towards the south and the east. So this is 5 a.m. We could be getting into a little bit of a wintry mix situation before we finally transition into all snowfall for tomorrow morning, which could make the roadways a little bit slick. Just want to give you a heads up. This is 6 a.m. So those wintry mix has changed over to those snow showers by 6 a.m. here on the metro. That's going to be continuing into 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And you can also note that we're going to have some heavier bands of showers in our far eastern counties by this time, by the time you're going into work and the kiddos are heading into school. The good news is, though, most of these snow showers should be out of the metro by the time you're heading out for maybe your lunch break if you are here in Kansas City. However, if you're over in Marshall, Sedalia, and even Warrensburg, it is going to be impacting you for an hour or two longer compared to the rest of the area. That's going to be moving out. Those clouds are going to be sticking with us, and the cold conditions are going to be sticking with us as well. So what we're thinking in the amount of snow for the system, I think about a dusting to an inch in most locations. But if you are over in Chillicothe, just north of Marshall, and then over in Cameron, I think a good bet is 1 to 2 inches. Again, a lot of the moisture that's going to be falling tomorrow, whether it be a wintry mix or snowfall, is probably going to be melting with on impact, just because the ground is so warm, because we've been so warm over the last few weeks. Here's what we're going to be looking like for tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be staying very steady in those mid 30s for tomorrow afternoon. Feels like temperatures, though, in those mid-20s because of the wind. So it is going to be a very cold Friday on tap. 40 degrees by Saturday, 54 by the time we get into Sunday. So a little bit of a rebound, but it's going to be even warmer heading into the middle of next week. I'm talking about 20 to 25 degrees above normal compared to where we should be for this time of year. So for your 3-degree guarantee for Friday, I'm forecasting 37 degrees, and that's actually going to be a midnight high because we're going to be a little bit cooler as we head into tomorrow afternoon once that cold front really sweeps through. So here's that Security Bank 7-day forecast for you. 54 degrees heading into your Sunday. By President's Day, temperatures are going to be warming up into the mid to upper 50s. And then take a look at Wednesday, 67 degrees. And then we're also going to be talking about more rain chances by next Thursday. Carolyn?
All right. Thank you, Savannah. Can be hard to return to normal after a tragedy, especially for the kids. So we talked to mental health experts about the warning signs you should watch out for and how you can help. Next.
This is KCTV 5 News at 10. Current condition.
With the thoughts of that shooting still heavy on all of our minds, experts say now is the time to make your mental health a top priority.
KCTV 5's Janae Hancock has been talking with experts about how you can take care of yourself and your kids.
As Kansas City counted down to yet another championship parade and rally, schools prepared to close their doors so students could enjoy.
How about the sea of red? Let's hear you, baby.
So in a crowd full of red stood thousands of children, hoping to see their favorite players and possibly their favorite pop star.
There may be a very long-term impact for the kiddos who were there at the shooting yesterday.
Half of Wednesday's victims are under the age of 16, but a countless number of minors could be suffering internally.
Yeah, we know that anytime a kiddo has been exposed to traumatic events, whether that's in person, whether they witnessed a video, which we know is also very impactful, or just hear about it, is that can increase their anxiety in general. And kids who are already experiencing anxiety, it may increase it even more so, and they're probably more likely to be affected.
Other signs to look out for include trouble sleeping, angry outbursts, and isolation.
I think it's just really important to make sure that every kid that was there or impacted knows that however they're feeling and however long it takes them to process this, it's okay and it's normal.
Normal. That's the top of mind for many counseling centers now. That's why KC Resolve Counseling Center is offering one free session this week to anyone affected.
We want to make sure that people have a safe place and have access to mental health services as quickly as possible to be able to process those feelings and learn good, healthy coping skills.
In Kansas City, Janae Hancock, KCTV 5 News.
Now, if you find yourself struggling, you need someone to talk to, there is help available. You can call the crisis hotline at 988, or you can get free, confidential, emotional support as well through them. We'll be right back.
Your First Warn 5 7-day.
All right, we do have a first warn that's going to be in place for tomorrow. 70% chance for those to actually come in during the morning commute hour. 37 degrees. We're also going to be around 40 degrees as we head into Saturday, but we are going to be warming up heading into Sunday and for the beginning part of next week. Make sure to allow a few extra minutes on that drive time tomorrow.
Snowy drive to work.
Yes, snow in a while.
Yeah, we haven't.
Thanks,
Savannah. And we want to thank you for joining us tonight. Our morning show gets started at 4:30.
And we'll see you back here tomorrow. Good night.